Okay, so I'm putting in some new tinted plexiglass windows for the Iroquois. So you can see right here, I went down and I made a template of the front. This is obviously the top front port window. This is going up on it. You can see the template I cut out, and I wanted to put a porthole in there, so I put that porthole in there. And this took about 2 or 3 iterations to get it, because this template is made to fit the window, but it's a little bigger than the window. So the window has a frame under it, and I wanted this template to cover the frame completely up. So this is the template I made for one of the windows. Now over here, this is the window then that E-Plastics cut for me off the template. And you can see it's got, a nice tint to it under the protective paper here, and where I cut the paper out here to fit around. This is the porthole that I put in, and you can see the porthole opens up, and it's got a nice wire screen in it, so the mosquitoes can't get you at night. And the porthole shuts and then locks, and this is the inside of the window here. Now on the other side, then, this being the outside of the window, you can see where I've got it screwed and bolted in. And then this part here will go around the outside, and that'll seal it in from the outside. Now what was a little strange, you can see on this outer part, like right about here, there's a tab, and these tabs were metal tabs that came up about like this. And there were 4 of them. There was one here, here, and over here, and here. So 4 metal tabs that came up. And I think it was meant so when this went down, these tabs would stick down and wrap around and give support. But that just wasn't going to work for me. So eventually, after trying every way I could think of to make it work, I just ground them off. So no more tabs. And so this will go down like this. I have some caulk. Make sure, so that will be my 5200. So this is a nice adhesive caulk. And I will squirt it down inside here, so that not only will this be bolted on, but there will be a layer of caulk sealant all the way in here. And then I'll fill this up with sealant also, and then when I put it on and let it cure for about 7 days, then it will be bolted and sealed. And even without these tabs that were in there, I think that should give a nice tight seal. Okay, so I'm gonna squirt some of this 5200 caulk down in here and I'll push it down in so it will seal all that down in there. So getting all that caulk down in there now. I've got a bead of caulk that I pushed all the way down in and around the edges there. This is filled with caulk. It's a lot of caulk. And then I'm gonna put it together now. Caulk's gonna squeeze out all over the place, but once the caulk gets about, close to a week of curing on it, then it'll be easier to cut out from where it's squeezed out. And I'm gonna put some clamps on it, and then I'll show you what it looks like clamped up. Okay, well now you can see I got my clamps on. Got 2 boards top, 2 boards bottom, kind of squeezing it all together here. And then I'll let that caulk set up for a week, and that should give a nice tight seal to it. Once the caulk is set up, I'll be able to just take a glass scraper and an X-Acto knife, something like that, and I'll get all this excess caulk off of here. But for right now, I'm just going to let it set up. Here's the window that I'm going to replace today, the front window, and been trying to figure out how the best way to replace this is. At first I thought I would take all these bolts out from the outside and just remove the whole frame, but I don't know, it seems like it's going to be hard. I'd have to get the bolts out, then I'd have to pry the frame away from the hull. Seems like a lot of work, and I'm not sure if it's the best way to go anyway. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave this outer frame intact. It'll add some structural integrity to everything. This outer frame being this right here, I'll leave that intact. It'll add some structural stability, and I'll take a jigsaw and I'll just cut along here, and I'll cut out this whole inner thing here all the way around, and just remove that. And then when I bolt the window to the outside, you know, it'll still have a little bit of a frame left for structure there. And from the outside, you won't notice it anyway, because the new window will cover all that up. And from the inside, it may leave a little better finish anyway. Instead of just having like a raw hull fiberglass sort of thing sitting there looking at me, I'll have that frame, and you know, I can smooth in that frame edges somehow, so I think it'll look a little better. But that's the plan right now, and I'll go outside and look at it from the outside. So here's the window from the outside, and you can see it's got those little screws, bolts, whatever, that go in all the way to the inside. And so probably where I'll be cutting from the inside is going to be right about to there. So there will be a line cutting halfway through this all the way around. But my window will cover all that up anyway, and I'm thinking it might be easier to do it that way. And so we'll kind of see how it goes. And then the window itself, right here, will just go up and cover that whole opening. So from the outside, all you'll see is the dark tinted window bolted and glued in. It will still have the structural integrity from part of that window frame still remaining. And from the inside, I won't see the raw fiberglass part of the hull so much. You know, I'll still see what's left of the frame that I can smooth out a little bit. And so I'm hoping that that's going to be the best solution. And I'm about ready to cut a big hole in the boat and see. And that's a little scary, but you know, the day's rolling on and I got to get going. The window's getting mostly out. I've got the top part cut out, and the only thing left is this area right here that I couldn't get from the inside, but I cut up to it from the inside going this way, and I cut up from the inside going this way to here. Now I'll have to go outside and cut out this part, but you can see that I'm pretty happy with the way this is turning out. You know, I think it's going to be a nice, smooth cut that I'll be able to finish in pretty well then. This window is getting mostly cut out here. The only part that I still have remaining to cut is that little area there. Okay, the window is out. You can see the edge of it there where it fell down in. Mateo was holding it. that last little bit. And so it is out, and you can see the edge there is all looking pretty good. So I counted the number of bolts there are going through. There's like 33 of these, and they're spaced approximately, I don't know, 4 inches apart till you get to the corners, and they're a little bit more, but approximately 4 inches apart, and 33 of them.
If my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold